Hi everybody, welcome back to the Legacy Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do some of your lunch meal prep. And you know, we've found that our best tip for getting through your week and staying on plan is to meal prep one meal a day. You don't have to go crazy and set out 45 Tupperware containers and fill them all with food. Breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner snack. I'm not asking you to do that. One meal a day, and we've found that it's super easy for lunch because then you can just take it with you to work. You don't have to worry about buying something, so you're going to save money, and then you also don't have to worry about what are you eating, because when you eat out, you don't really know what you're eating. So we love meal prepping one meal a day, so I'm going to show you guys how to make 2 meals. And the most efficient way to do a meal prep like this is to cook certain things together. So we're going to be doing pork tenderloin. I have a pre-seasoned peppercorn pork tenderloin that's going to go with the buffalo cauliflower, and a ginger chicken that's going to go with the broccoli. So this chicken has been marinating for about 20 minutes, and that's going to be enough time for this marinade. And here are the ingredients. I'm just going to point them out to you. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sriracha, totally optional, tablespoon of sesame oil, which is also optional, but in my opinion, it is the sesame oil and ginger that gives it like an authentic Chinese food flavor. So if you ever are in the store, this is from Trader Joe's, so it's available, I don't know, $5. This is pureed ginger paste. So instead of buying a whole ginger root and grating it, which you could, this is really convenient. So this is what I used. It also blends really well. Some salt. Then I just mixed it together in this container and put in 2 pounds of chicken in here. This is going to be enough for me for the week. If you are going to be meal prepping for you and your spouse, or you and your sister, or whoever you're prepping for, you're going to need to do more protein and more vegetables as appropriate. This is one of my favorite things, and you could use this recipe anytime. You know, you can have it with your dinner, you could have it at a snack. I could probably eat this whole thing of cauliflower, but don't, because too much cauliflower in the tummy, you know, not enough. Not the best, but just enough for a serving is what you want. It's buffalo cauliflower. So how we are going to make that is with Frank's Red Hot sauce, and Frank's Red Hot is the buffalo flavor that you're used to. A little bit of olive oil, some garlic powder, onion powder, and salt and pepper. So that's what we're going to do. The broccoli is just going to be made with a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and lemon juice. Lemon is an awesome addition to any green vegetable because it really brightens it up and it just makes the flavor delicious. So I'm going to clear off my workspace and then give you my tips on how to break these guys down. You can buy just a bag. Trader Joe's and Kroger has a whole bag that you can just, pop it open and just bust it out. But this is a little cheaper, and a lot of times this is the only thing you can get. So I'm going to show you how to break these apart, and then we'll get started. Okay, so we're back, and first I'm going to make the buffalo sauce. Okay, so like I said, we're going to start with some Frank's Red Hot. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons. 3. It's almost all of it. We're just going to use the rest. Then I'm going to do a tablespoon of olive oil. Do a couple shakes of salt. Okay, a lot more than a couple. Couple grinds of fresh pepper. And now some garlic powder. I'm going to use about a teaspoon. Garlic powder works really well in something like this because it's going to get all mixed in the sauce. You could do minced garlic too, but this is going to coat the broccoli a little better. So this is a teaspoon. And the onion. I love onion powder. Here we go. Grab a fork, mix it up. Okay, now he's just going to sit here for a couple minutes because now I'm going to show you how to break down the cauliflower first. Okay, I have a small sharp knife This thing might be called a paring knife, but I'm not totally sure. So you see how the broccoli has this big stem? You're just going to start working through it. You can just break these guys off. You have to be a little careful with cauliflower, not to cut your finger. So you just got to work through it. Get this stem off first so you can see through it. And we're just going to discard these leaves. Okay. Now that these big stems are off, I can see into my cauliflower and I can see where the white cauliflower stems start. So I'm going to stick my knife in there and just cut off the first piece and pull it off. There. This guy's going to come off, the stem. Goodbye. And now I'm just going to break it all apart. And I have a colander here because I haven't washed it yet. I'm going to cut it apart first. That way when I wash it, it'll get any grit off of there and who knows what else. So we just like to wash it. All right, so here's my cauliflower. Excellent. I'm going to give it a rinse. Just let it drain for a minute. Okay, now while the water is draining out of the cauliflower, let's chop the broccoli. Oh, by the way, preheat your oven to 450 because it needs to get nice and hot. When you roast vegetables, it's really important that the vegetables are dry and the heat in the oven is hot. That way they're gonna crisp up really, well maybe not get too crispy, but they're gonna get caramelized and roasted. And if you do it at a lower temperature, you might as well just steam it on your stove. Because roasting it at a high temperature really enhances the flavor. So that's what you got to do. Now we're moving on to broccoli. Same sort of thing. A lot of people do like the broccoli stems though. You can save those and shred them up, use them in a salad if you want. I'm just going to set them aside. These guys break apart pretty easily. I like to keep my broccoli pieces a little bit bigger. If I start chopping into the head of the broccoli, I just lose it all, so it all just becomes green crumbles, and I don't like to lose it. I like to eat it. So broccoli is a total fan favorite because it has a lot of fiber, which will help keep you full. And also, broccoli is in the cruciferous vegetable family, both broccoli and cauliflower actually, so that contains a lot of micronutrients. People get very focused, and I do too, but we get very focused on the macronutrients. Macronutrients being protein, fat, and carbs, but we can't forget about the micronutrients. So broccoli is full of antioxidants, which will help fend off disease and help our body stay in tip-top condition. So it's definitely worth incorporating into your diet. And if you cook it the right way, it's good. If you boil the heck out of it and get a mushy broccoli pile, no one's going to like it. No one's going to like your broccoli. So the best broccoli that you can make is probably roasted with olive oil and salt and pepper with a squeeze of lemon. Watch, you're gonna love it. All right, so we're back with our cauliflower and I got some paper towels and I'm just dabbing off some of the extra water. Then we're gonna toss it in with our buffalo sauce and just stir them up a little bit and get the best coating on them that I can. You know, the buffalo cauliflower is actually kind of popular. You see lots of recipes for it. So people do it sometimes instead of the buffalo chicken wings, which are deep fried and coated in all that sauce. And you can serve this with like a healthified blue cheese dressing version. And if that sounds interesting to you, I can come up with something for a healthy blue cheese recipe because it's one of my favorite things to do is to take something unhealthy and make it healthy. Let me grab one of my foil-lined pans. I love to line my baking sheets in foil if I'm going to cook something because it cuts down on my cleanup time. In my opinion, one of the worst things about cooking is cleaning up after myself. So you either have to get somebody else to do it for you or line your pans so you don't have to do it. Okay, so these just gonna dump them out. Shake it around, give them some room so they can breathe. on the pan and cook evenly. These are gonna be great, oh my gosh. Next up is the broccoli. So still have to wash it, so I'm gonna do that and then I will be right back. All right, so we're back. Broccoli is all clean. Gonna grab my other pan and dab these with the paper towel so they're nice and dried off. Got a little buffalo sauce on that. Okay. So now we're just going to use a tablespoon of olive oil, drizzle it over the top. So now I'm just going to take my hands and toss it with this olive oil. Okay, some salt, some pepper, toss it up, and that's it. And you know, this goes really fast. If you don't narrate it like me, this comes together super fast. So the whole point is to get this meal prep in the oven. Don't worry about it while it's in there and go do something else while your food is cooking. Let it cool, come back, and then put it in the containers. So really, meal prep can seem like a big lift, but it's actually not. You can totally handle it on a Sunday afternoon, maybe even while you're cooking your regular dinner. Maybe the kids are hanging out. Maybe you gotta do it. So just take care of it and it's gonna go by super fast and everything's gonna be great. This broccoli is gonna cook a little faster than the cauliflower. I'm gonna check these after 10 minutes and then see how the cauliflower is doing. Okay. All right, so the broccoli and the cauliflower are finished. We ended up needing about 12 minutes on the broccoli and about 15, 16 minutes on the cauliflower. So I was right, the broccoli cooked a little bit quicker than the cauliflower. So I'm just gonna leave them out over here and let them cool. So now I have reduced my oven to 375, and now that's where we're gonna cook our chicken. So let's grab a fork. We're gonna cook the pork and the chicken at the same time. So I'm just gonna lay these guys out here. Okay, so there we have our chicken. So just a reminder, this chicken marinated for about 20-30 minutes, and the marinade was made of olive oil, ginger, sriracha, sesame oil, salt and pepper, and some apple cider vinegar. What I did, I added it all to this container and just stirred it up with a fork, placed the chicken breasts in, kind of coated them all, and then just let them sit in there. And they were very cold from the fridge, so I actually let them sit on the counter while they were marinating. So the pork I have is a peppercorn crusted pork tenderloin. And I find these pre-seasoned pork loins everywhere, all over the place. However, if you're not into that and you prefer to season food on your own, I think a great rub is garlic powder, salt, pepper, and paprika. And just mix it together in a little dish and then coat it, rub it down on your tenderloin, and that's gonna taste great too. So we have the pork and the chicken all ready to go. I did want to just show you, this is a meat thermometer, and you can get one of these for pretty cheap. Just order it from Amazon. And pork tenderloin is not the best if it's overcooked, but if it's not overcooked, it's very juicy and tender, so it's great. So what I'm going to do is when I'm testing it, just to take a look at it, I'm going to first touch it with my finger a little bit, and if it's very squishy, I know it's not done yet. But if it seems a little firm, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to stick the meat thermometer right in there and check it out. And my meat thermometer tells me what temperature it should be. So pork needs to cook to 160 degrees. I don't know how much that is by touch. I only know how much that is by this. So when you take it out, it's gonna rest for a couple minutes and the temperature may actually increase a couple more degrees. That's the thing with meat. When you take it out of the oven, it's gonna increase the temperature just a couple more degrees. So if you heat this thing to 180 and leave it in there, you're gonna overcook it. And I mean, it'll still be edible, it'll be fine, but you want it to be the best it can be so meal prep doesn't suck. So we're gonna get these guys in the oven. And then, like I said, I'm thinking about 25 minutes based on the thickness. I can see that the chicken and the pork are all about the same thickness, so I feel pretty comfortable that they're gonna cook at the same rate. And they're both white meat, but it's very easy to cook both of these together in the same oven because they're pretty similar. So this is a good, if you wanna bulk cook your proteins, this is a good way to do it. Okay, get them in the oven and then I'll see you back when they're done. Hey, well, we're back. Our pork finished cooking. Our chicken took a little bit longer. So we're gonna cut the pork first. Let's see how it turned out. I did use the meat thermometer and let it rest for a couple minutes. So this is looking super juicy and good. Mmm, nice. Not too overdone. Okay, so I want to actually show you how I plate up this food. So I'm going for about 6 ounces of meat in every portion. This pork goes with the cauliflower. So what I do is I set it on, zero it out, and then I'm just going to cut a couple of pieces. We like to eat our pork in slices like this. Oh yeah, it's going to be good. So I'm eyeballing about this much. We'll see how I do. Oop, need a little more. I find that people generally underestimate the amount of protein that they think that they should eat. Because this 6 ounces of cooked pork is actually quite a lot. Okay, and for example, if you go to Panera and you order a salad with chicken on it, they are going to give you 3 to 3.5 ounces of chicken, and that's it. So you're not getting enough protein from your Panera salad. So if you bring your food like this and you measure it, you're going to know for sure that you're getting a good amount of healthy protein, and that's what you want. Yep, we had just about enough for 3 of these, and I will set this one aside, save it for leftovers, or I don't know, eat it right now, probably. Okay, now so we're gonna do just the same thing with the chicken. This is the ginger chicken and it goes great with the broccoli. And unlike the pork, I actually prefer to cut these into bite-sized pieces. So the way I do that is cut it in like 3 pieces like that, grab it and turn it, and then just slice it up again. So these are just bite-sized pieces. That way I don't have to worry about a knife. So I'm going to just do the same thing. A small sized chicken breast is about 6 ounces, but if you get one of those big giant ones, they are closer to 8. If you're eyeballing it. Eventually you get to the point where you could probably eyeball it, but if you've never measured food before and you've never really cooked before, I definitely suggest weighing it out just so you can tell where you are. Yeah, so that was 1 chicken breast, just about 6 ounces, so that was perfect. I'm not going to bore you and let you watch me cut chicken for the rest of the night. So I would definitely encourage you to set up these beautiful meals for yourself. Meal prep this stuff. It really only took about an hour. While the chicken and the pork were cooking, I cleaned up the kitchen and I made some hard-boiled eggs to take as a snack with me. So, you know, you can kill the time that the stuff is cooking. The prep is super quick. When I was talking about these vegetables, if you're not into any prep at all, get them in a bag, in the pre-washed bag. Those are so common. I prefer fresh vegetables to frozen, but you could even in a pinch use frozen vegetables because I just love the roasted vegetables. I think they taste great. I'm not going to bore you and let you watch me cut chicken for the rest of the night. So I would definitely encourage you to set up these beautiful meals for yourself. Meal prep this stuff. It really only took about an hour. One other note about putting together food like this. You should leave it out for a little bit and let it cool, because if you put a bunch of hot food into your fridge, it could warm up your fridge and then warm up the other stuff, make your refrigerator work extra hard to cool it off again. And then toss it in the fridge. Grab one and then you're good to go. You're gonna have a delicious meal to eat instead of a mysterious meal that's probably gonna cost you at least $10. I didn't add this up, but probably all of this together, you'd probably buy it all for $12 to $15 for all of it. So that's pretty good. It's a good savings. It's full of healthy fat, fiber, protein. It's gonna keep you going. Totally get on the meal prep train. make some good stuff. We're gonna come back with some more meal prep ideas next time. So we will see you then. Thanks for watching.
We're in a lot of Bob Ross moments right now.
What do you mean?
However you want to do it.
Just make it beautiful.